What is up, guys? We are back for round 2 of Ark Survival Evolved starting out. Yeah, I started the day out, came out, just started picking some stuff up, but today our goal is kind of to get mortar and pestle going, and also to start to make some narcotics, level up a little bit, maybe build a little bit, maybe if we even get that far to even tame something. But that's kind of where we left off. We have a little thatch base on the other side down by the beach over there, but I did stumble across something that I wanted to share with you guys. And again, this is a new beginner's guide. On the map that I'm currently on, which is the island, and on other official Ark maps, ones that weren't like modded maps that got taken into the fold. So what I really mean is the island, scorched earth, apparition, and extinction. And we're recording literally the day before Genesis drops, so more than likely Genesis as well. But on these maps you will find explorer notes. They might look different, they might appear a little bit differently. You usually see them by some sort of ruin or landmark, but in this case it looks like a little chest. When we run over these guys, it opens up, our level up stack comes up, and we also see an XP multiplier come down here. Now it gives us bonus XP right off the bat, which is why I leveled up, but then it also gives us bonus XP for as long as that timer's going. So if you see one of these, a better way of doing this would have been make sure I had a bunch of stuff to craft or make or fight. And that way I'd be getting the XP bonus while I had this open, but I did just want to show you how it works. Alright, so we unlocked the mortar and pestle, and we're also going to unlock narcotics and probably a simple bed for us as well. We've got a couple more points. Spark powder's a good one to have. So we're going to get back to base, craft our mortar and pestle, and start getting narcotics rolling. Once you can unlock narcotics, I would heavily recommend doing that in the very beginning. Not only do they give you a good amount of XP for creating them, but they are also a lifeblood as far as taming just about most things in this game. You need them to create weapon like tranquilizing weapons, but then you also need them to keep the dinos asleep while you're doing what you're doing. If you're unfamiliar about the taming, check out my Ark 101 taming video. That should show you most of the two basic methods of taming animals in here. You know, if we level up enough, I'll start building maybe something out of wood. Looks a little bit nicer maybe. But we're going to go in our little house here. So I need some more stone. I think I got some more stone in my storage box. I don't know if that's enough stone though. Oh yeah, it's enough stone. Alright, cool. So the two prime ingredients to making narcotics are spoiled meat and narco berries. Now, spoiled meat is whenever the meat runs its expiration timer down, like we talked about in the last video, it'll move over into spoiled meat. If you're trying to get spoiled meat fast early on, one of the easiest ways to do this is to take a stack of meat like this and separate it individually. Now on the Xbox, I'm using an Xbox controller, it's just X to separate them. But you can also be able to right click these guys, and yeah, well normally I could split the stack, but obviously it's one, so I can't. But if you split it all up like that, they'll all spoil into one spoiled meat at a time. So if you're trying to mass produce spoiled meat, sometimes it's just easier to have a bunch of it on your inventory and just separate it into individual slots. But anyway, to craft these guys, it's in our drug section in here, and it's 5 narco berries, 1 spoiled meat per. So it's 5-to-1 ratio. You're always going to need more narco berries than you're going to need spoiled meat. I don't have a lot of narco berries, but that probably means I'm going to run out and start grabbing some. Mainly because this is a really good way to level up. Narcotics give you a pretty decent amount of XP. Yeah, I don't have to, because I'm the one crafting this, I don't have to be anywhere near this. Which is something good to talk about while I'm out here grabbing berries. Now because I'm solo playing, I can pretty much craft anything and walk away from it, still gain experience. I leveled up already, so the experience comes pretty quick. Now let's say I'm part of a tribe and I got a friend in here. If I craft something and my friend is near me, my friend will receive a small portion of that XP. So if you're trying to level up together, the idea would be one of you make those narcotics, or both of you make the narcotics would be ideal. But if only one of you are, have the other person follow the person, be somewhat nearby them, and you'll get that trickle XP back and forth. There, we got another level up already, at least one. Go back in here, and yep, we ran out of narco berries, so we'll drop some more narco berries in there. And we'll queue up some more. Now you can make these one at a time, or you can just hit a craft all. It's Y on the Xbox controller, but it would also, you can just right click on these guys and you can just craft one or craft all, or craft an amount and actually choose what you want to do. Also, if you're using the PC, if you're using a mouse, well, if you're using a mouse, I'm on the PC, but if you right click on these guys, it'll tell you in parentheses what the actual hotkey is, so that way you know in future reference. Alright, so we got a decent amount of points today. We jumped a lot of levels just by making those. The cooking pot I'm not going to worry with right away. The cooking pot's really just to make, let me hover the mouse over here. You're going to make a lot of your like soups and stews and different dyes off of it. It can be helpful early on if you want to make the dyes or the soups and stuff like that. But right now we don't necessarily need it right away. Let's see what else we got access to. A bow. A bow and arrows would be lovely. That would be definitely a good thing to have. Yeah, we do have access to some of the wood stuff. Now again, I have the S Plus mod on here too. That's not really going to change how we do things here very much. Alright, so we had a lot of points to open up a lot of the wooden structures, so we can start building something kind of cool if we want. Building in this game is another solid way to level up early on. Even if you're just making something to just throw on the ground because you're looking for those extra levels, building can help you out exponentially. I'm going to increase my crafting skill a little bit on that last level up. Increasing your crafting skill will increase the speed at which you make things on your person. Later on, it'll also increase the quality of that stuff. Alright, so we're going to cruise back here and start hotkeying some of our wooden structures and start placing some of that down. Kind of get an idea what we're going to do here. It's going to be similar in size to this, but we're going to give it a little bit more character. Alright, so I got 6 foundations. Now I can just snap these to this foundation if I wanted to, but I'm probably going to tear that down once I'm done, so let's just do something here. And again, these snap really well right to each other. I probably should have made one more. And yeah, I guess I should have made one more. I need a little bit more wood, so let's make one more foundation, come back, and replace that guy. Now, I can also demolish resources and get demolish structures and things and get a little bit of resources back. And seeing as I don't care too much about this thatch stuff anymore, I'm going to start doing exactly that to get some of my resources back. Alright, so I got enough wood to at least start on making that other foundation and to start building the rest of the house. I just need to come back here and get some thatch and fiber out of here. Kind of do it like we did on this one. We'll do that, and we'll do the foundations, and then one kind of stuck out like that. I'm going to place the door on here first so that I know that it's facing in the right direction that I want it in. Then I'll drop this down here. So on the surface it might look a little bit different, but we're actually going to do a peaked roof setup on this one. Alright, got the wooden window in. Let's put some walls in here. Alright, so if we did a flat ceiling, we'd just put a flat ceiling, but if we're doing a peak ceiling, any sort of incline, this is where the sloped walls come into play. You're going to need these, and they're lefts and rights. You want to pay attention to which ones you're making. When you're building something simple like this, you know you're going to need one left and one right, and on the other side you need a left and a right. And what these are is just triangular shaped. They're sloped a little bit so that we can put like a sloped roof on the side of it, again, to give it that peak, make it actually look like a house. But again, we need more wood, so we're going back out. Alright, so let's hotkey a bunch of stuff again, so that it's just easier for us. That way we don't have to go in and out of the menu. And I'm going to swap back to first person because it's easier for me to build in first person. So look, we got one side there, and we just snap the other side there. There, and the other side there. And then we put the slope roofs, and they'll just snap right into place. And I think I didn't craft one because I'm not paying attention. I'm missing one, so I gotta go back out, but I am gonna put this door up too. You can put a window in if you want to. I think I'm gonna leave that open. I kind of like it open. So once again, we're gonna go out and beat some trees up, and then come back and start finishing up on that. Alright, so we got our new roof, our last roof piece to put on here. And I hate trying to use third person to do this. Oh, did I choose the ramp? Yeah, I tried to build the ramp. Pay attention, ramps and sloped roofs can sometimes look the same, and I was trying to build a ramp up there, and that's why it wasn't working. So we got our little house set up, nothing serious, nothing crazy. Put a little ramp right here too, make it look kind of cool. Put a little, we put railings. I just unlocked a railing. There's some railings. Also, still didn't hit level 20 yet. Definitely need to hit level 20 before we can really get into stuff. Alright, so I made 2 railings. I'm gonna put the railings down here. The other one here. You can actually stack these railings on top of one another, like stack them on top of one another to make like almost like a fence look if you want to, but I don't know, I just thought I'd make it a little homey looking, so that works out. I also changed my mind on the window. I feel like it needs a window. We just snap the window on here, and we'll be able to open and close this window as well, so you can be able to open them and close them. Now if we go down here to level 20, which is what we just hit, we hit 20 fairly quickly. So if you, like I said, if you play it smart and do things the right way, you can unlock these things quickly. So the refining forge, got that unlocked. That's good. We're gonna need the smithy, and we're gonna need these metal tools. We're gonna need the smithy next, but that's 18 points, so we're just gonna wait it out. We're gonna go make a refining forge, which is gonna cost a lot of stone. More importantly, we're gonna start knocking down rocks so that we can get some metal as well. So I know there's a decent amount of stone over this way. I'm gonna start heading this way. Now, you would say, yeah, you should be using the hatchet so that I get more stone, and that is the case. However, what I'm really looking for, while I do need stone to make the refining forge, I'm really looking for any little bit of metal that might show up out of harvesting these things. Oh, I just broke my stuff. So let's see if we can fix it here. There we go. Point this down. Not really getting lucky with that metal. It's pretty random when this happens unless it's an actual metal rock. Oh, there we go. See, I got 2 out of that one. We're just going to keep hitting these things for a little while. Get a little bit of metal and then come back to the base. Alright, headed back to base with our forge and some other resources. We are also going to put some meat on this forge. We're running low on food, so make sure we keep track of that. Alright, so we're in the house. We're going to put the forge up. I'm going to put the forge over here in a corner. Forges will produce heat, so if you stand too close to them in a hot environment, they will overheat you, so pay attention to that. Forges are pretty simple. Again, this is the S+ one, so you're not going to see these 4 little sections up here in the forge inventory on a regular mode. But what these do is basically a forge can create iron, metal ingot, like metal bars, like actually take the raw metal and melt it down into metal bars. You can also create gasoline for you later on, but right now we're concerned about the metal. So we take raw metal, we have 17 there. We might have some, yeah, we got 6 in here. We got any in here? Alright, so we got 6 in here too. It's not too terrible. But it also requires a fuel source, and you can use wood, thatch, or spark powder for these things, and each one's a little bit better, right? Thatch is going to burn up really fast. Wood is going to burn up kind of fast, but it's also going to give you a charcoal byproduct. Charcoal can be used later on for a few things, but a key component in making gunpowder. Spark powder is something that you can make as well. It's going to be the longest lasting fuel source, but we're going to use it charcoal eventually anyway, so we're just going to use a wood fuel source for this one. Put the wood in there, we light the fire. Now, again, this is S+, so you're going to see this bar tick up. But it's going to be the same time on a regular forge, and you're going to see the metal turn into a metal bars, and it's just going to do this over time. We have 23 raw metal right now. We went down to 21 and we gained a metal bar. It's a 2-to-1 ratio. It takes 2 raw metal to make 1 metal bar. So we're going to come out of this with like 11. We level up again. I might look at what we need to make a trike, or to make tranquilizing arrows, and we might go after that trike. I go into crafting skill again. So we're gonna see if we have trank arrows anywhere around here. Can't remember what level we have to be. Oh no, we just unlocked them. All right, so that's fantastic. We can make trank arrows. We can also unlock the smithy as well. This is good times. All right, so now we're starting to get in the nitty-gritty where we can actually start doing some cool stuff. We're gonna create. I'm gonna grab a bunch of narco berries, as much as I can carry, bring it back to the base and start making more narcotics. take the narcotics that we do have and show you how to make some trank arrows. And maybe we'll go out here and try taming this trike. I'm not sure how it's going to go. Got 9 metal in here already. Now, it's a good thing to pay attention to your forges and come back, because this sucker will keep burning the wood even though the metal's already done if I don't come back here and turn this off. I'm actually just going to hang out for a couple minutes, let that go down, and turn this off before I leave. Alrighty, we're here. I got about 34 regular... actually, you know what? I think I have some more in the preserving bin. Or not, in the mortar and pestle, rather. Alright, so that'll give me 76 narcotics. That should be pretty... We're gonna... And once you unlock the arrows, they'll be on your ammo section. Once you get there, you'll need narcotics and the actual arrow to make them. We're gonna make as many as we can. Start heading in that direction. Let's grab some meat while we're off here too. Alright, so I made another bow. That's crafting right now. We made some regular arrows as well, just in case something jumps us while we're out here trying to get this trike. What I'm gonna do is hotkey both of these bows. Now you can apply separate arrows to separate things simply by selecting the trank arrow, and then you can see my bows are highlighted down here. That just means it can accept that ammo. We're going to put it on this one. So now I have one bow hotkeyed with tranquilizing arrows. You can tell by the green arrow look. The arrow looks green. And then I have the other bow shooting normal stone arrows. We're going to try to track this. I think, was it this trike? It was this guy. Yeah, that was her. Alright, so I'm thinking we're going to try to get on top of this rock here. Start trying to knock her out. Again, if you're not familiar with taming on here, you're going to want to check out our ARC 101 video on taming. We're going to kind of breeze through this, but essentially, tranquilizing weapons raise the torpidity of the creature. Once the creature reaches torpidity, God, I am having a hard time running up this thing, aren't I? Alright, so we're going to try to have this the old-fashioned way. But basically, we're going to keep shooting this thing with arrows until it either dies or falls over. And, yeah. Alright, so we got it. We got it early on. Oh. The other one came after us. Got the other one. Alright, so we knocked the first one out, and then this one came after me. What the hell? Sometimes you will hit things and they will ragdoll like this. Anyway, we knocked the first one out over here, and the other one decided to join in and fight us because it was a little close, but we managed to take care of both of them. So we got this one knocked out. We could check its status. Now these guys are herbivores, so they're going to eat berries. So we're going to just throw a bunch of measure berries in it. You see how it went up to 3.1%. As the food stat of the creature goes down, and it'll slowly trickle down, it'll start to consume food, and every time it consumes food, the taming bar will go up. Now you want the taming bar to go all the way up in orange, and you don't want the purple bar to go all the way down. If the purple bar starts to go down, what you do is open this thing's inventory, throw either narco berries or narcotics inside of there, and then force feed it, and it'll make that bar go all the way back up. Again, you want to check out our ARC 101 taming video if you're looking for a more in-depth explanation. But that's pretty much it in a nutshell, and we're going to come back after this guy, or after this girl, is tamed, and we got our first dino. There we go, popped up, we can name her, she is here. Alright, so, went through a little bit of narco berries, had to feed her again. Actually, I'm going to put some berries on her. Your tames will need food, you're going to have to feed them. And they also come out as attacking my target. I'd really much rather have that one be on maybe neutral. And you can do that by going into, well, I'll go back here. So you can go in the behavior wheel, and you have a bunch of different options here. But one is the stance, and you can change this to a couple different options. We're going to go neutral. That basically means she'll defend herself when she has to. Other than that, she's going to mind her own business. All right, the next thing to check is to see if we can unlock the Trike Saddle and at what level we do that at. So we don't have it unlocked yet, but we are close to a level up, and I think we already have the resources to craft this thing. So back to the base we go. Coming back to the base. This is where this game really shines. It's really unique compared to a lot of other survival games. Is the ability to tame animals out here, bring them into the fold. You can even breed these animals later on. If I found another male Triceratops, I could breed them and get a baby one. They'll have all sorts of different stats, all sorts of different upgrades. and you can put saddles on them and ride them around. Some help with harvesting resources, some help with gathering things. Hitting pretty good, hunting these dillos down. And watch out for those guys early on. I don't give them the chance to spit at me, but if they spit at you, it'll blur your vision and slow you down for a certain amount of time. So you can use whistle commands when you open up this radio menu on the Xbox Game Controller. It's just holding in B. But you can open up this radio menu and do a couple of whistle commands. What that allows you to do is just whistle what you want that animal to do versus actually having to run up to it and do it. It's good if you know the commands. If you're not familiar with the whistle commands, don't jump right into it because you can get all your tames doing silly stuff. So just be very mindful when you're whistling what you're actually whistling the creatures to do. There we go, the Trike Saddle. This is made on our person. We need fiber, hide, and wood. So let's go back, see if we got the stuff to make this guy. Alright, we made a Trike Saddle. Now, saddles that are crafted on your person, there'll actually be a separate saddle section for this. All that'll show up, and you'll just pick the saddle and craft it. I crafted the saddle. Now we go over to the dinosaurs inventory. We go up to this, and it's Y on mine. It'll be E on the keyboard when you walk up to it, and you'll be able to open the inventory up. And you'll want to take this saddle and put it on top of it. Now we can ride her. Pretty cool, huh? It can sprint. It's going to have a stamina meter. All those stats are showing up at the top right-hand corner of the screen. That's all of its stats. They don't have a water stat. They just eat food. You don't really have to worry about making sure they can drink water every 5 seconds, but like me. But being mounted on a creature, you benefit a lot because you're not using your own stamina, so your own food and water drain isn't going down very much at all. It provides a heck of a lot of defense. Creatures are entirely better at defending themselves than they are you. In the example of the trike, it actually harvests berries really well. Now, tamed dinos will actually level up as well, and you can actually go in here and check their stats out. They'll do a little dance. Yeah, so now we got a good source of berry gathering goodness. We're actually really good at this. We're also pretty good at harvesting thatch off of trees. Not so much wood, but definitely thatch off of trees. They take less damage in the front because of the head, and they do like a knockback attack when they hit creatures, so they're really good at defending themselves too. Alright, so I needed a bit more wood to make the smithy. I figured I'd just walk out here really quick. The trike, I love it, I really do. It's a great starter animal, but it doesn't move very fast, and this isn't a very threatening environment where I'm at, so seems like a good place to just wander around here and just grab it real quick. It's probably faster this way. Key point to this to early on as well. The smithy is going to long-term allow you to start making metal tools. Metal tools are a lot better at harvesting things. And also you're going to be able to make things like crossbows or even primitive firearms, like better armor, better structures. The smithy is a big game changer as far as technology and crafting goes. Alrighty, so came back in the house. I am out of stamina. We're gonna drop our smithy right about here. That looks like a good place. Having it near the forge is good because you're gonna find yourself using a lot of metal with the smithy. Being able to just stand in one place and move stuff back and forth is gonna be really easy for you. I'm checking to see if we have unlocked any of the metal tools yet going down here, and yes, aha, we have the hatchet and the pick. I'm actually gonna unlock the pick first. So once again, we craft that on the smithy. So we go in the weapons section of the smithy into the melee, and we can craft one of these already. It only costs 1 metal bar to make. I want the metal pick because it's going to make finding other metal a lot easier. But anyway, let's science, right? So here's the stone pick hitting stone. So I'm getting 2 stone, 7 flint, roughly each time. Between 2 to 3 stone, and between 4. Let's try it one more time. 8. 16. So, I mean, it's not hard, right? Let's swap to the metal pick. Substantially better. Substantially better. And I'm seeing metal pop up a lot more often. Came back with some more metal. Not a whole lot more, but, you know, a little bit. We also got a lot of stone and flint, which is very easy to get with this pick. And we're going to make ourselves some spark powder. Now, if we go over the spark powder section now I highlighted, you need it's a 2-to-1 flint and stone ratio to make spark powder. Spark powder is another key resource in here. You use it to make gunpowder. That and charcoal create gunpowder later on. It can also be used as a fuel source for pretty much anything that burns. You can burn it with spark powder and it burns slower. Later on, we can also make a preserving bin, which works as like a primitive refrigerator, and you can also make like even jerky meats on it that last even really long time. All of those things are pretty mandatory, right? So spark powder is another thing to have a lot of. Plus, stone and flint are pretty easy to come by, especially if you notice, especially now that I have this metal pick, it comes by a lot quicker. I got a few more metal we're going to toss in here to convert down to metal bars, but doesn't look like we got too much else going on in here today. But we made a lot of progress. But yeah, I mean, we did pretty good, right? We got our wooden house set up. We got a better looking house. We got a forge making metal. We made some metal tools. We started making narcotics. We tamed a trike. All in all, it's been a pretty good day. I think that's where I'm gonna call it at. So I hope this was helpful to any of the new beginners coming out here, and that's really what this second episode is about, is kind of helping the beginners out to understand the basic concepts of the game. I'd like to do at least 2 more videos, make it like a 4-episode sort of series to tie everything together, just to get a lot of the early stage arc stuff out of the way so that people can understand it. But that's it, guys. I hope you found this interesting. I hope you found it helpful. Feel free to shoot something in the comments, hit that subscribe button, also click that notification bell so that you can see when the next video is coming out. Reminder, I also Twitch stream. Our schedule is Fridays and Saturdays at 9 p.m. Eastern time. We also stream occasionally on other days, but follow me on Twitter. I always update it on Twitter if I'm gonna do an impromptu stream, which happens fairly regularly. That's it. That's episode 2. We made a lot of progress today, so look out for another video next week, and until next time, guys.